Hello and welcome to video number 2 for the Photoshop Fundamentals course. In the first video we talked about what Photoshop is exactly, graphics editing software program. It's very powerful. You can do a lot with it. A lot of different people and a lot of different professions use it. We went into opening image files because that's where we're going to start when we work with Photoshop. We need to kind of open some kind of file that we're going to be working with. Of course, we can create a file as well with Photoshop, but a lot of the times we'll be working with images that have already been created. How did we do that? We went to File, Open. We get our drop-down menu here of all the different file locations on our computer, as well as external hard drives or flash drives that are connected, such as this Store and Go here. This is a flash drive that is plugged into my tower there on my computer. So it's also reading all those files as well. Keep in mind that files of type should always be set to all formats so you get all formats. We have several different image file extensions: PNG, GIF, TIFF, JPEG, and so you want to be able to see all of them. You will be able to see all of them if all formats is selected for files of type. Alright, let's talk about Adobe Bridge. Adobe Bridge is a viewing platform that is actually a component of Photoshop, but it allows you to kind of browse through your pictures and look at details or information about those files before you go ahead and open them up in Photoshop. Okay, so let's take a look and get a better understanding and idea of this Adobe Bridge. Okay, and so here you can access it from the File menu. You can click on Browse and Bridge. There's also a shortcut, Alt, Control, and the letter O. And you see it opens up another window here. It says BR, short for Bridge, and it shows you all the files, not just image files, but any type of file. You can see here I have some images of some dogs, some pit bulls. Those of y'all who have had me before know I own a pit bull and I'm a pit bull lover. They are really great dogs. It's how you raise them. So I have some pictures of some pits in here, and then I even have some Word document files. So it pulls up everything. Okay, and what's neat is you can view the details of different photos. Here's a black and white pit bull, and it tells me everything from when it was created to the file size, which is important if you have a website with a bunch of images on there. That's going to increase your bandwidth usage, so something to keep an eye on as a web designer. You also have dimensions. Okay, maybe you need to put a profile photo and you need to know what the dimensions are in order for it to fit nicely in that little spot. We got that information here as well. And so it's just a really good way as a graphic designer to be able to access information about files. Okay, and also we have Camera Raw, which is a component of Bridge. So kind of a little family lineage here from Photoshop to Bridge to Camera Raw. What is Camera Raw? It is a lightweight editing platform that is a part of Bridge. Let's say this picture here, I'm going to open it up in Camera Raw. It's this little icon here that's this circle, and it even says it screen tips to open in Camera Raw. I can click that, and here it is. This is the Camera Raw interface. Okay, now this is also another photo of a pit bull about a year old, and the exposure on it is too dark. So as a photographer, maybe you want to put this picture of a pit bull in a website on pit bulls. We want to just bring the exposure up. We'll just bring it up a little bit. Now you can see that this is a brindle pattern here, like that kind of like tiger stripe brindle pattern that you see on pit bulls and boxers, and then it's white. We couldn't see that before. There's the before, there's the after, and this is a great tool. Now we can open this photo up in Photoshop instead of working with this one. So you can see the use of using Camera Raw to do really quick edits. I use this Camera Raw platform to do a ton of editing just real quick on exposure. Like if I took a picture that has way too many shadows, such as this one, we can just bring it in here. We can bring up the exposure. We can click Save Image. We'll name it as a new file, and you're done. And you don't even have to use Photoshop to make some quick edits to some of your images. Okay, so this is Camera Raw, very useful. You can see here I was able to change the exposure. You can do so many different things that we will get into in more detail. But here's convert to grayscale. Boom. Now you have a black and white picture if you want to go with that look. Easy to do in Camera Raw. So there's a quick look at Camera Raw and Adobe Bridge. Now there's another way to incorporate Bridge, and it's using Mini Bridge. Okay, how do we do that? Go to File, Browse in Mini Bridge, and it drops it down here. It says Bridge has been disconnected. We'll just reconnect. Yours should automatically show up when you click Browse in Mini Bridge. So here you are, you're browsing in Mini Bridge. It's kind of like a condensed version. You can see all of the file locations on your computer. Not as powerful as actually looking in the full Bridge platform, but still you're able to look through some of your files, and you can upload them to Photoshop right away, such as this picture of this blue pit bull in the snow. Just another way of going about it. I prefer to use straight Bridge, so I just close down Mini Bridge. I like using Control-Alt-O, and I have my Adobe Bridge here to go ahead and access my images and files. Alright, thanks for watching. We'll see you in video 3. Bye-bye.